You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. Boy, did I just blow that one. I'll tell you what, I was getting a cup of tea and I wasn't paying attention to the console. James, are you still there?
I am still here. I was just about ready to message you, like, what's going on? There's no music or nothing.
Yeah, I just got sidetracked there, and I was busy making a cup of tea. What can I say? Ryan, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I mean, certainly you must have some reports of different areas of UFO sightings, and you know what time of the year it was, what they looked like, and whatever information you gathered. Let's talk about that. Alrighty.
Yeah, I have them broken down into areas, and like I said, that's why I was telling you a lot of, like I said, on this side there's usually, I'm hearing a lot of cigar-shaped ones, but I mean there is a couple different ones mixed in, but it's mostly orbs. I'm not really getting too many different, craft type. It's like I said, it's a lot of orbs. Only couple of different saucers ones. But the people up north of Pittsburgh, they from 1, 2, 3, 6 of them have said they've seen something go into the woods, but they didn't investigate any further. And 2 of those people had missing time from that.
Interesting. You know, I know that some people see orbs and stuff like that, but I mean, normally, you know, you see some type of craft or some strange movement or something like this. I have this thing about orbs, and James, you know why I do.
Yes, I do.
Unless these, and I can't believe it'd only be in your area that these, you know, UFOs are cloaking themselves in orbs. So, I mean, when you screen these people, okay, number one, how do they find you, and how do you screen them?
I usually put out an ad, pay to, when Craigslist was free, I used to put it out on that, and then I also use Facebook, and then also word of mouth helps me a lot. But for the most part, when I was starting out, it was basically a couple different ads on Craigslist, just asking people, hey, if you've had a sighting, you know, contact me. And I would look up different areas in Pennsylvania and put them on in their cities. And then that's how I got these. This is over about 7, 8 years of doing my own investigations. So,
okay.
Yeah, but I don't have anything like too crazy. Like, I have one here from a female. She said that she saw an actual craft. Now, she tried to give me the size, which I told you it's hard to take her on that. But she said there was lights all the way around this object in the sky. And she said it looked about the size of a vehicle, which is, I guess, a pretty good size, you know, UFO. But then it zipped away, and then it came back, but it came back closer the next time. And then she doesn't remember. I think she said she had an hour and a half of missing time. Now, she's one of those ones where she feels they didn't do anything wrong to her. But yet, she's, you know, but like you said, she's got missing time. So who knows what happened between that, you know? Who knows? And that's what gets me the most is, like you said, it bugs me. You're right. I think a lot of it is evil. I mean, if you're taking someone against their will, that's definitely evil. It just, I don't know. It can't be good.
Well, you know,
that's for sure.
You know, Ryan, what really scares me, we talked about it the other night, cattle mutilations. Now, up here, we get a lot of them between Oregon, you know, Washington and California, Idaho, Montana. And it's the point that we were talking about it the other night. Remember, James, the last one, a pathologist made a remark, and what he said is, like, these cattle mutilations, he's come to a determination that these animals are being mutilated while they're still alive and standing. And the reason why he said that is like, you know, their eyes are removed, their udders are removed, their hearts are eventually removed, and their, you know, sex glands are removed and drained of all their blood. But like he was stating that these animals, if they were laid down on a table or whatever they would do to have all this stuff done to them, that when you remove the eyes, the liquid from the brain and behind your eyes would run out, you know, underneath their eyes and then off the side of their face or skull or whatever. He said in these cases that he's noticed with most of these mutilations that he investigated, that the liquid actually has drained off the complete front of the face over the nostrils and down. Jeez. Which he comes to a conclusion, because I mean that's what the guy does. He you know, when people die, they do the autopsies, and then that's when they say to the police, "Hey, this guy didn't die naturally." He came to the determination that these poor animals are standing while a lot of this stuff was going on. So, I mean, because again, when you remove the eyes, the fluid didn't run off to the side. If they were laying down like it would, it ran off the front off their nostrils, the trace of it. So that tells me they were standing. Now, if you think about what's going on with the mutilations of them, cattle, then the mutilations of humans too. I mean, that have been reported worldwide. It's scary. So my feeling is the people being abducted, either something is being implanted in their mind where they're, you know, told in their mind for, you know, not to remember. So that's being erased, what happened to them. Some people seem to remember, but the people who normally only remember nice things, you know. They don't remember the bad stuff. That's where, you know, like when Calvin Parker was on the show, he's been on, I think, 3 or 4 times. He's going to be coming back on again here in November. You know, and it took a while getting to know Calvin and being on the show. And James, you know what he said. He felt that they're totally evil and not here to serve man at all.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, he even described the one encounter he's told us, and I think it's even in his book too, that, you know, they had him stood up against the wall, pressed against the wall, and she stuck her long fingers up his throat and tried to come out of his nose. So they went right into some kind of investigation on him, why he was coherent and standing up just like that cow would have been. And here's another thing. Any time that you have missing time because these entities have done that to you, that has negative overtones on it right there. I mean, think about it. If I did things to you and then try to erase your brain or brainwash you or plant something in your brain to think something or to activate something, these are all negative overtones no matter how you church it up.
Exactly. It's just like Daryl Sims. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He says the same stuff. And that's the thing that bugs me too, is a lot of the times you'll hear a lot of abduction cases is the emotion, the lack of emotions that the entities show. Like a lot of them say, why do you cry? Why are you yelling? This is going to be over. You know, that's, to me, I don't know, to have any lack of emotion about it just tells me that they just really don't care. You know, that's really scary.
And how many people have you gotten reports on abductions? And where were they abducted? Were they abducted while they were in bed? Were they abducted while they were driving or out in the woods, you know, hunting? I mean, where's your reports been coming in when you investigate these?
It's all of the above, exactly what you just mentioned. It's in their room. One guy said he was on the toilet. I mean, I don't know if I can believe that, but that's what he told me. And a lot of them, they were in their vehicles. But yeah, exactly what you just said. The woods, they were going hiking, they were hunting. You know, that's what I got a couple of, I think there's 2 or 3 hunters that, you know, they were out in the woods and all of a sudden, and all those hunter abduction cases, they all have missing time. So, and that to me, I I'm going to try to look in further into that to see if there's any correlation with these guys. But for the most part, yeah, it's exactly what you just said. It's you name it.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If there's missing time, there's a reason there's missing time. They were probably abducted. I mean, there's probably a 99 to 100% chance they were abducted if you have missing time, because that's not a common trait that humans just have, missing time, especially if it coincides with seeing a UFO. Let's face it, you probably were abducted, and a lot of these people have been put implants put in them too. I bet there's just so many people out there don't even know they even have missing time. If you think about it, that's another factor. And then there's the group of people that don't even come forward and say anything. So the total of number of events that's happening to people is mind-boggling, and it's scary because I don't care how you church it up. If you have missing time, that has negative overtones to it. It's racing your memory for their own purpose of hiding something or not. It's rotten.
Yeah, to me, I believe there's more than one entity, and at least that's how I feel about it. From from all the other, I guess, well-known abduction stories, and then the ones you got in small towns that a lot of people don't hear about. So to me, it seems like there's more than one entity coming to Earth. And I believe that, like you said about missing time, that tells me that those ones are basically evil. The other ones, the people feel it was a good thing, which there's not too many of those. And who knows? I don't have any specific looks of what those entities look like, but yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it, though. The different types of them.
I think there's so many different types of them. I've said this numerous times. I think going back, this planet has been rebooted several times. I think we're getting very close to rebooting. By the way, in the news today, Antarctica has melted so much, they found 5 islands of land masses in Antarctica. They didn't even know they existed. I just wanted to say that to the listeners. But I think this planet has been rebooted so many different times. We're close to it again, I think, in the near future. Now, the near future could be tomorrow or it could be 1,000 years. But in time span, that's still the near future. What I'm saying originally, I think, that our planet was harvested at one point by a group of aliens. It could have been more than one group of species of aliens or humanoids. It came down because let's face it, in electronics now, in the past, and probably in the future, gold is very important because it doesn't draw much current. So for electronic devices, gold is very precious. Why would the Incas, the Mayas, and all these other groups of people that roam the earth collect gold and make objects out of it and stash it and think it's